All right, y'all, here we go. It's take two time. And for this week's take two, we're putting ourselves on the spot. We each have to name our 5 favorite working directors. I said working directors. I didn't say not the greatest directors of all time or nothing like that. That is not what this list is. So if you don't hear Hitchcock, or if you don't hear Scorsese, not saying that he's not on our list, but if you don't hear names like that, that does not mean that they're not goats, because they're
That's
definitely
right.
goats
Francis Ford
of
Coppola.
greatest directors of all time. But we're talking about our favorite working directors, meaning directors as of today. And that is what we're going to talk about, man. So, I know I have my list. I know you guys have your list. So please, if you guys don't hear one of your favorite directors, please don't yell at us, don't scream at the don't yell at the screen and all that kind of stuff, man, because these are just our opinions on who we think is the our favorite working directors today. So
Put it in the chat.
we're gonna go ahead and start it off. What'd you say, Cruz?
Put it in the chat. He say put it in the chat.
Put it in the chat.
That's it. Put it in the chat.
Like, that's
the
all
thing.
the smoke. Put it in the chat.
Yeah, put it in the chat. Like if you have your list, put it in the chat, man. Let us know what you guys think.
That's right.
Like who your favorite directors are. But we're gonna go ahead and kick it off. And we always do this. So Johnny, why don't you start it off, man?
Oh man.
Who do you have at your number 5 spot?
At my number, golly, number 5. This was I don't know why he's doing it to me like that, because again, it was hard to put these in any kind of order. In any kind of order. So, I mean, if I had to put somebody in the 5th spot, oh my God.
Why we gotta do order? That's the order messing you up,
that's
Johnny.
what I'm saying. Oh my God, I don't want nobody to think, oh man, that's number 5 on his list. So, man, in no particular order.
Okay, no particular order.
Go with, and I'm gonna give it to you in a way that somebody else who I love when they, on a particular show, when they talk about different people, I'm gonna give it to you in a way that one of my favorite guys would give it to you. And I'm gonna say Jordan Bartholomew Peele. So Jordan Peele is one of the guys on my list, man.
Yeah.
I mean, from Get Out, come on.
Not mad at that at all.
Movie. Us. Come on, man. I mean, you can go on and on with the things that he's directed, man. Even we mentioned Hitchcock, so he gives you that type of vibe with the stuff that he does. And so,
Good
man,
point.
He's an amazing director, writer. He does it all, man. So he's definitely somebody that I want to work with. I mean, really, really bad. I really want to work with him. So Jordan Peele is one of mine.
Good point.
Okay.
Cruz, who do you have at your number 5 spot?
What's next?
Or if they're not in any order, just whoever do you have in your top 5?
Well, of course, man. I love that. I mean, you kind of took one from me, Johnny. I don't appreciate that, but it's all good. But we're gonna do that. Since you mentioned Jordan Peele and he is on my top 5 list, but I'm gonna give you another one. I'm gonna give y'all another one. And for me,
so you're going with your number 4. So Jordan Peele is in your top 5?
Oh yeah, Jordan Peele's in my top 5, and I got him at number 5.
So you go with your number 4 then?
Yeah, number 4 for me. Ooh, just because obviously that was a discrepancy on if he's current or if he's not. Regardless, you gotta look at Martin Scorsese still. And the reason why I say Martin Scorsese is because think about when he started. He's had a hit movie every single decade. Every single one. So you can go all the way back to Mean Streets. You can go to Mean Streets to him doing Taxi Driver. You can go from Taxi Driver to Goodfellas. You can go from Goodfellas to Wolf of Wall Street currently, right? You can even do the last one he did, of course, it's on Netflix right now. Which is
Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah,
Killers of the Flower Moon. So like, just think about all the movies that he's done. and just think about the greatness that he's been able to extend as in cinema. Like, I mean, he's done so many in some projects, some people don't even know he's behind. And I just think you got to mention Martin Scorsese and his impact currently right now and what he's done and even in the past, man. And yeah, I'm gonna throw Martin Scorsese in the mix, man. Let's see
Okay.
what happens.
Hey, I can't
I'm not
disagree.
mad
Look,
at that.
there are not any wrong answers to whatever we say. Again, this is how we feel. So
Yeah.
please don't get mad at us for if you don't hear like one of your favorite directors, because again, these are our thoughts, and I agree. Scorsese is definitely like he's one of the goats, honestly.
Yes,
And he's
of course.
still a working director. So yes, he can definitely be considered as a top 5 working director today. Now mine is a little different. I have at my number 5 spot, I was going back and forth between 2 directors who I feel are like in that GOAT conversation.
Okay.
But I decided one of them, I'll say this, was James Cameron,
Okay.
who I feel is like one of the top working directors today. But like I give him an honorable mention for this particular list. Because of the work he's done with Avatar, and we know him for Terminator and like a lot of sci-fi joints. But I decided, even though this director recently put out a film this year, and that director is Steven Spielberg. I still have
Yeah.
Spielberg in my top 5. He recently put out Disclosure Day. Even though I was a little bit disappointed in Disclosure Day,
man.
you can't take away from what Spielberg does, because every time he releases a film, there's always some type of excitement. There's always
Yeah.
talk of awards for his project. So I still have to put Steven Spielberg in the conversation. And then if you go back and look at what he did with A West Side Story just a couple years ago, like he made that a Best Picture contender. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So he's still one of the top directors out today. And I still view him as being the GOAT because of his like him being able to do all types of different films. I mean, the man did he did E.T. and then did The Color Purple. You know what I mean? So it's like that's a lot of diversity right there, man. So at my number 5 spot, I give it to Steven Spielberg, man.
Okay. I'm definitely not mad at that either, because he is on my list, and you know how I feel about Spielberg's films. And Disclosure Day is one of my favorite of the year so far. So yeah, definitely Spielberg. He was on my list as well. Now I'm gonna give y'all somebody who I really love her work,
I already know who you're talking about.
and that's Ava DuVernay.
Of course.
Come
Oh
on,
wow,
man.
Oh,
yeah,
on
yeah.
my
Man.
list. On my
You know,
list.
from Selma to A Wrinkle in Time to
Facts.
just in 2023 she did Origins, which was an amazing project,
Mhm.
man. So
Yeah.
and the 13th, those are all great films, man. And she can do anything. She can do anything, I feel. And Ava DuVernay is one of my favorite directors. She's on my list as well.
I have to agree, man. I mean, Johnny, you just keep doing it, man. Just
Come
keep
on.
going through my list right now. But I'm
Oh,
gonna say,
man,
let me back up. No, it's it's good. It's good. I mean, you got great taste. You got great taste, my brother. Uh, no, but I would say yes, Abel definitely. Just and I will mention mine in a second. But you mentioned someone but Queen Sugar.
Oh man, come on.
Come on. Like, I know this not movies, but it's a show. She did a great
Hey,
job with that
whatever she direct,
series
man. Yeah.
and whatever she touched. And I'm not sure, you can fact check me, but I think she's even behind the Nipsey documentary that's coming out. So
Man.
Nipsey Hussle documentary. So I do fact check, find out, but I heard her name rumbling around that for announcement on that documentary. So
You know what? The documentary she put out 13th about the
Yes.
13th Amendment.
yes, that's
Yeah.
Now that was amazing.
Yes, it
Facts.
was. Yes, it
Absolutely
was.
amazing.
facts.
So yeah, she's that, like, definitely. Again, there are no wrong answers here, people.
No,
There's no
nah.
wrong answers.
And so I'll give you mine. And I think I think we all can in here, we can just breathe in, breathe out, because we're gonna say somebody we all agree.
That's right.
Ryan Coogler.
Oh yeah, that's number 1.
And Ryan Coogler is
Oh, for
might
sure.
not, and this is in no particular order for me, so please. This is probably like number 1 on my list, of course. But the work he's done has been crazy, from Fruitville Station to Black Panther to Creed, and how he was able to flip that.
Ryan Coogler is also on my list in terms of top working directors. Matter of fact, I you know, I have him as my number 2, to be honest, man. Like what he's been able to do, like especially with Sinners, man. Like Sinners was like you can't even define what genre it was. He created a genre with Sinners, and one of the best scenes that I've seen in any film ever, I'll say, is that one scene in Sinners, the musical scene, when they were actually in the juke joint, and it was just that one camera shot, man. And they went through the different decades and the different genres of music, and I mean, that was just one of the most amazing scenes that I've ever seen in any movie. And what he's been able to do from a filmmaking perspective, started with Fruitvale Station to Creed, then doing Black Panther, and what he was able to do with that. I mean, this man has never missed. He has not missed. And I mean, everybody has a bad day at the office, and he has not missed yet. And even what he was able to do with Black Panther 2, despite all the circumstances with that, like losing your main star, losing your main character, and still being able to deliver a top-notch film, man. I mean, that speaks volumes to like what he's able to do and accomplish, man. So yeah, Ryan Coogler is definitely on my list as well.
Yeah, he's on my list too, man. And you're talking about Fruitvale Station, but we can even go back a little bit further than that. And I believe it was his student film called Locks, and it was the story about a young man seeing the police frisk another young man that had dreadlocks. And that film deals with identity and sacrifice and the perception of people in Oakland, California. And like I say, I think it was his student film. It was like 2009, and also the film did not have dialogue. So our very first film, other than the poem that was in the background, had no dialogue. So
no dialogue,
that's true. That's true.
Ryan Coogler, man, he's that dude, man. And he doesn't mind tackling those I guess you can say sensitive issues. So I put him in that same category with people like Ava DuVernay, man, who doesn't mind, getting down in the mud and really getting people to open their eyes to seeing something in a different light. So yeah, Ryan Coogler, he's that guy.
For sure.
Of course.
So I'll say this, at my number 3, I have Paul Thomas Anderson, who just directed, just won Best Director for One Battle After Another. Directed Boogie Nights, There Will Be Blood. But he's another one of those directors that whenever he releases a project, there's always talk about, award nominations and, always up for Best Picture or whatever. But like to me, he's one of the best working directors today. Like his cinematography is like incredible. Just really, really great director, man. So he's like number 3 on my list behind Ryan Coogler.
Of course.
Now, man,
well, who did you have at your number? Is it 3 or 2, Johnny? I'm lost now.
We still in there somewhere.
We somewhere in the mix,
man.
Who said it again? Fuqua. Of course.
Yeah, man. So I mean, what he just did with the Michael Jackson pick, man. What he did with Antoine Fuqua, Training Day, man. All those are some great films, man. And this dude, you don't hear his name a whole lot, but when you do hear his name, it's about to be something powerful. It's going to be a great film.
I mean, speaking of Antoine Fuqua, I mean, he just like Michael is now the highest grossing film of the year. It just surpassed Super Mario Brothers Galaxy as the number 1 film of the year. So kudos to him.
Definitely.
For being able to achieve that off of a biopic, the highest grossing biopic of all time. It broke plenty of records. And you talked about Training Day earlier. So, hey, like Antoine Fuqua is an amazing director, man, for sure. Yes, and he is one of the best working directors out today, for sure. So I think we're all now at our number 1, if I'm not mistaken. We've all done like 4, right?
It's either been 3 or 4, something like that. But
I
yeah,
think it's somewhere around it. We're gonna round it up. Let's round it up.
I
Yeah.
think I think that's 4, but like
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and say my number 1. Like I haven't heard anyone say it yet,
I think we're gonna
but
say it.
we're gonna be talking about his film a little bit later on. But
That's
Christopher
right.
Nolan is my
Christopher
number 1,
Nolan.
hands down.
yes,
Yeah, Christopher Nolan.
he was
Christopher
my
Nolan.
number 2.
Yeah, I had him number 2. I
Christopher
had
Nolan.
Ryan Coogler number 1. Yeah, man.
Christopher Nolan for me is my number 1. Every time he releases a film or it's announced that he's doing a film, it's like an event.
Yeah.
You know, I think Cruz, you and I had this conversation before, like, you know, back in the day, you know, you used to have these like big marquee name actors like The Rock and Will Smith and Tom Cruise, and like whenever they released the film, you knew that it was going to do certain types of numbers. That isn't the case today. I don't care who you put in your film, it's not a guarantee that it's going to be a hit. But when you say that Christopher Nolan is one of the few, if only, directors that I know of, and Ryan Coogler as well, that when you say that they're releasing a film, like it's like an event is getting ready to happen, and people show up to go watch their films. You know, so to me, that's what makes them like the top of the top, the cream of the crop of the top-notch working directors today, man. And you know, speaking on Ryan Coogler, man, like he's so young. Like, man, he still has a lot of years left.
A lot of years
to be on that GOAT list. You know what I mean? So but in terms of like the best working directors, like he's right there, man. Him and Chris Nolan for me are like the cream of the crop. You know, and again, I know we're getting ready to talk about Odyssey. We're going to do our review of it in 2 snaps a little bit later, but man, Christopher Nolan, not only what he's done with Odyssey, but then, you know, because, and again, we're going to talk about it later, but Interstellar, you look at the Dark Knight series.
Dark Knight, and I want to dive in that.
So Inception, like, man, I mean, it's just his filmography is ridiculous, man. It's like this man has not missed yet, man. But yeah, he's my number 1.
Yeah, I don't think he can. I don't think he can miss. I don't think he can miss. You gotta. I mean, and just look at, like you said, you know, it's Oppenheimer. You know, like what he was able to do, that like that was a biopic, and that was the first. That was a Billy. You know what I mean? You're talking about how Michael Jackson and Michael, that was a Billy on itself too. And so it's like for him to be able to do that.
Yeah, prior to Michael Jackson, it was the highest grossing biopic prior to Michael Jackson. So and it nearly made $1 billion. It was right there at it. But man, and I mean, and it was an R-rated film. That's the thing about it. It was an R-rated film, and it was so almost made $1 billion
for that impact
for a biopic.
Exactly. And just like you said, man, Christopher Nolan did so many great things. I mean, The Dark Knight and how he was able to put that together. I mean, people don't know the work and like the struggle he had to even put that together. You know what I mean? And so you'll dive into that a little later. But for him to do that project within the city of Chicago and have the limitations that he had to put that together. I mean, they literally blew up a whole 18-wheeler, like, and flipped it, you know what I'm saying? And that was real. Like, and some things that I also was able to get some notes on. I found out that, like, and we'll dive in it. Of course, we about to talk about the Odyssey, obviously, but we'll dive into like just how he's able to do this stuff with practically no CGI. That makes you
he uses a lot of practical effects. He loves realism. That's the thing about Christopher Nolan. Like, he doesn't like to use a lot of CGI. But I love the fact that he uses a lot of practical effects, man.
Yeah, it gives me Michael Mann vibes, and it really does. And if y'all know another great director, Michael Mann, he's done that with some of his projects too. So it gives me that vibe. And then throwing in another thing that I think is really dope is Christopher Nolan. If you don't know, Ryan Coogler has stated that Christopher Nolan is his mentor. And so for them to have that connection and them being number 1 and number 2, it doesn't surprise me at all, man.
Yeah.
It doesn't surprise me at all.
So, Johnny, what was I think you had one more. Was it Christopher Nolan as well?
Yeah, Christopher Nolan was, he was, I mean, I gave you Ryan Coogler as my top, but Christopher Nolan was my number 2, man. So, yeah, I can't wait till we get into the Odyssey talk as well. So,
yeah, we warmed up now.
Yeah, we warmed up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, fellas. So as you guys see, that is our top 5 working directors today. Again, these are just our opinions. This is just our list. Like, if you have your list, please leave it in the comments. Share it with us, man, because we'd like to hear more from you. We'd like to know who you guys feel are the top 5 working directors today.